Don't worry about tomorrow, because today has enough trouble of its own.
That's right.
Straight from the Bible.
Straight from Jesus' mouth.
Amen.
But Mark is worried about how many commandments there really are. Are there 2? Are there 10? Are there 15?
Or was it 3?
3?
Yeah. Remember he dropped one?
3 tablets.
Oh, okay.
Oop.
Music,
We'll see.
please. All right, thank you for that music. And this episode, we are going to take a reading from the Bible and discuss it and see how it relates to today's life.
Okay, but first I'm going to address, because we talked about the Sermon on the Mount last time.
Yeah.
And the Sermon on the Mount was just really Jesus' ministry. It's things that Jesus said here on earth.
Okay.
Okay. They're not even there. There wasn't necessarily a place for it. They're not sure. We're not sure of that.
Okay.
But it could have been on a mountain where crowds gathered that he said these things.
Right. He did that a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It might have been on a hill on a shore of the Lake of Galilee.
Right.
But it may not have been just one sermon either. These might have been, things that he said while he was here on earth.
Right, right.
That's what's
good.
called the Sermon on the Mount.
I got it.
Okay. So that's what I
So
understand.
it was probably many places.
It
where
might have been many places.
Or he had a large gathering and they
Right.
heard him speak.
Right. So, yeah. So it wasn't necessarily one place, but it could have been too. We're not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure. If there's Bible scholars out there that want to correct me, feel free, please.
Okay.
Because,
And that was our last
that's
video.
Right. That was our last video that we talked about the Sermon on the Mount.
One of Jesus's blessing.
Yes. One of the Beatitudes.
The Beatitudes.
Beatitudes.
You like that? Eh?
I do. I like the Beatitudes.
Yeah.
And we'll go back to those. But for now, I'm going to read Matthew 6:34.
Another Matthew. Thank you,
Another
Matthew.
Matthew, because I'm in Matthew right now.
Oh, okay.
And this is in the NIV. I forgot to say last time it was in the NIV too.
Okay.
Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own.
There you go. So
Did you know it says that in the Bible, though? That
I
it
did
says
not. No, I
each
didn't.
day has enough trouble of its own. I thought we just made that part up.
Yeah. The other part I like is don't worry about tomorrow.
Right. Right.
Because tomorrow will come.
Right. Right.
And that's where they got that from the Bible. Very good. I
Right.
like that. A lot of songs.
Don't
are made
worry.
there.
Be happy. I know that song.
Yeah. I like the one, I think Fleetwood Mac also sang something about don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Soon it'll be here.
That's right.
Yesterday's gone, and tomorrow will soon be here.
That's right.
And today you have enough problems to
Right.
worry about.
And that's biblical.
I like that.
I don't know. Well, I've known it for a while, but I didn't know all my life that was biblical. That, it says each day has enough trouble of its own. And that's for sure, right?
That is for sure.
We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but we know it'll have enough trouble of its own. We don't have to worry about tomorrow.
I like that. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about things coming. And
Right.
because you don't know, what tomorrow's going to bring, actually.
Right.
And let's get through today. That's all.
Right.
Be with the moment,
Yeah.
and live and love. Right?
Okay, now you're starting to sound like one of those bugs again. Bugs from the 60s. Live and love. Peace, man.
Peace bad. Keep the peace. Yeah, I like that. That's very good and everything.
Yeah, God doesn't want us to worry. Now, my father was a worrier.
Mm-hmm.
I think he liked it.
You think he liked it? He was a farmer. That's why he worried
He was a
about.
farmer, so he was, he had to, he had to worry. I don't know.
And he
It's-
worried about things he had no control of. The
Right,
rain,
of
had to
course.
worry about the rain,
the
the
rain,
wind, the bugs,
the hail. Right,
right?
right.
The crop has to grow and,
right, right.
and be strong.
Are
and-
these new seeds that I'm trying this year going to work out
Oh,
okay?
every
Are they
day.
going to be as profitable as the seeds I used last year? Is the combine going to break down? All these things.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's pretty tough. That's a lot of worrying and just that's his whole life though.
Right,
That was his life.
right. And
you know,
that was, our lifeline.
his
That
family
was,
and everything.
right.
You know, the people like who work in the city, they got to worry about the meeting today, the sales, their sales up and everything.
Right.
But that's even worse. Because you're looking at the crops and everything,
Right.
building, growing and
Uh-huh.
and building your life
Right.
and,
Right.
and you really have no control over it. I mean,
No control.
you can turn and make the soil as best as you can.
That's right. And that's what they try to do
But
here in
that
Iowa.
one little seed,
Mm-hmm.
that's like Christians trying to not promote, but talk about Christian life.
Christianity, yeah.
The mustard seed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Faith of a mustard seed.
And
Yes.
you have to worry about, will it grow? Will it take off?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
You gotta wait till the end.
Right.
You gotta wait till it's grown and ready to pick.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Well, as Christians, we try to plant seeds, right? When we talk to people, we just plant the seed and hope that God will help it to flourish there.
Yeah,
And hope that the people will be open to it, right?
But the ground these days are so
You
polluted.
always say these days.
It's
I don't
hard to
know
grow
that it's just
anything in
these
these.
days. I don't know that it's just these days.
Back in the olden days, the ground dirt was so clean that when you had a wound, you put dirt on
you
it.
just spit on it and put some dirt on
That's
it, right?
right. But now you can't do it. There's so much pollution and crap in it, and holy cow!
I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's been trouble since the beginning of time. God,
Yeah, they had their
God
own
did
thing, yeah.
flood the earth once because He was pretty upset with everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't imagine it was worse than now, but it maybe was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was
Pretty
but
bad. Yeah.
that was pretty bad.
Yeah.
He was pretty
He
angry.
was
with
pretty
people.
pedo.
Yeah, yeah. But I was going to tell you with my dad. So my dad and I, as he was getting older, you learn to appreciate your parents more the older you get,
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he was watching Evangelist before we went to church, and we were getting ready for church. And this evangelist was saying, "Get rid of all your worries." And my dad said, "Yeah, get rid of all your worries so you can get new ones."
Good one. I like that. That's right.
He and I laughed and laughed about that because that was almost like his motto.
Uh-huh.
Yep, we got to get rid of these so we can get some new ones.
There you go. Very good.
Each spring brought new worries for farmers.
Don't worry about tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll have so much trouble tomorrow than you do today. So don't worry. Make room for that new.
For that new worry.
That new
You got to
worries.
get those old ones
Yeah.
out so you can get some new ones in there. Yeah.
And then tomorrow, you don't worry about the next day, and
No.
you do it all over again.
And do you do that? Do you worry?
Oh, I worry all the time.
Do we?
Yeah, we all worry.
I know. I know. It's a sin that's hard to not do because it creeps in, right?
Sure. You just can't let it take over us and stuff.
Right.
Because,
But I'm guilty of it too. I guess I try to get on my knees when I'm worrying.
That's right. That's
try
right.
to-
Because God is always here with us,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, and He can take it all away.
Only gives you what you can handle.
Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
true?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
Doesn't always feel like it though.
we're
does
still
it?
here, so must be doing something right.
Is that I don't think we're doing anything right. I think it's him that's doing things right.
Okay, he's doing something right for us.
Right.
All right, so
Right.
that's
But-
cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I think sometimes worry causes me to sin.
Okay, that's okay. That's
So
something to think
even
about.
even though, the worrying is a sin,
The worrying is a sin.
the worrying
Is a
is
sin.
a sin.
It is.
I think so.
Oh.
I don't think we're supposed to worry. He tells us right here, do not worry about tomorrow,
Okay.
for tomorrow will worry about itself.
I don't think it's a sin. He's just saying, keep cool. Relax. Don't worry about it.
There's a lot of things you don't think are a sin, and you do a lot of them.
Hey, if it ain't in those 10
I'm
commandments.
telling you, I could make a list.
It's got to be on that.
No, it
10
doesn't have to be in those 10 commandments.
Those-
Those 10 commandments are pretty broad too.
Yeah.
If you
I
study
know.
those 10 commandments, it's
Well,
covers a lot.
actually, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard
Probably not.
somewhere that when Moses came down, it wasn't really 10 commandments. It was actually only 2. 2 commandments.
Where did you hear this?
I cannot.
Not in the Bible.
No. But
Okay,
he
so-
brought down the commandments. Do they say 10 in there?
Yeah,
10
there's 10 commandments in the
Okay.
Bible.
Because if you notice the scrolls and everything that they write, don't they have like a piece of the 10 Commandments stone that it was written
I
somewhere?
don't know. They might. I don't know. I'm sure it's controversial
right.
because people that
But
don't
a
believe in
lot
Jesus
of a
don't
lot
think
of them. Well, if you think
Or
about the
don't
10
believe in God.
Commandments, they were kind of getting off subject here, but
That's okay. I want to hear what you have to say
well,
because I bet.
you got it. One commandment is you gotta love thy neighbor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is the same as you cannot kill. Don't kill, and don't do adultery, and don't do. They're all kind of the same. And the 2 commandments was, I think, was keep God as. Which one? I guess the first one is keep the Lord's name in vain or
No,
something.
keep the Lord's name in vain. You shall not take the Lord's name in vain. I don't think that's the
no,
first
that-
one, though.
All right, so it's like he's the only one God.
Yeah, keep.
Don't worship another
Right.
God.
You shall have no
before
other
me.
gods before me.
Right. That's the first one, I think. And the other one is love thy neighbor. No stealing. You can't steal. You can't cheat. You can't have adultery. You can't kill. All those are pretty much all kind of like the same.
Are they?
Yeah. Love thy mother and father. He's the father, so that's the same as, the other one is don't,
Yeah, but if you study into the commandments, they get a little broader. Did you study into the commandments like when you went to catechism?
Oh, I'm sure they did.
They did, but you didn't.
I was there, but I don't recall.
Because, yeah, in some ways you're kind of right, but I mean, it gets a little broader. Do not kill doesn't cover just do not kill.
Okay.
If you have hatred for your brother, hatred for someone,
Right. Okay.
That
So
is-
all that is kind of together to do not kill, right? They
Okay,
kinda-
but I still didn't hear anywhere where it was just 2 commandments.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to look that up. See if that's true. Well, and according to the movie, if you ever seen the movie, he brings down 2 tablets.
2 tablets with 5 commandments on them.
Was there 5 or was it just
Yeah, well,
one
there's
of
another
each?
movie also where he brings down 3 tablets and he drops one and he says,
That's right.
"Oh, I had 15 commandments," and he drops one and he goes, "Oh, oops, 10 commandments."
You're right. There was 3.
So I don't think we're gonna go by Hollywood with our 10 commandments here.
you got me there, honey. You got me there. That was true. Yeah. That was a
I
Mel
like to
Brooks
stick-
movie.
But that goes to show you that we don't trust the movies for
That's
these.
true, that's true.
I know you love to watch those movies.
Yeah.
You love to watch like the Ten Commandments and all those, but
With the
They
Charles
may not-
Heston. That was the original. Yeah.
Charleston Heston.
Charleston
Is it?
Heston. Huh?
Yeah. Yes, but that doesn't mean that they're biblical.
No,
biblically
I know. It's
accurate.
kind of like what I grew up. Instead of learning stuff at CCD and Catholic schools, I kind of learn more from watching.
Yes, and
And
that's
from
okay. It's
reading.
just you have to be careful of your sources.
This is true. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even reading, you have to be careful of the sources that you're reading.
Well,
You know.
we'll have to Google that because if it's on the computer, it's got to be true, right?
I don't think so.
So
I
that
don't
was a
think
good
so.
one today. Very good.
Don't worry about tomorrow because
Don't
tomorrow
worry.
will take care of itself.
Be
Tomorrow,
happy.
each day has enough trouble of its own.
As its own.
You heard it.
You heard
Straight
it here.
from Jesus.
That's right.
He says it.
Hey, so
Every day has enough trouble
boy,
of its
and
own.
talking about stuff that happened long time ago, and today's, it's the same thing.
It is.
It's the exact same thing.
Jesus said that over 2,000 years ago,
and your life will be so much happier.
and it's true today. Every day has enough trouble
Yeah,
of its own.
I like that one. That's a good one.
Even if you're like us and don't do much. I mean, we
That's right.
we kind of keep to ourselves. We're not really, you know.
This verse here is one to share to everybody,
Yeah,
to your friends
share
and
it.
everything. Says, hey, they knew back then
Right,
that, they're worrying about tomorrow. Don't worry about tomorrow.
right,
Let's do today.
right,
Get things done today. And
right.
I like that.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
pick. Good pick, honey.
Thank you.
And that was Matthew. Thank you, Matthew.
Yes, it was Matthew. Matthew's a good book.
Mm.
If you're new to Christianity, I would suggest starting in Matthew.
Yeah.
I have read that people say to start in I forget now what it was that they told us that they said to start in. It wasn't Matthew. It was Matthew.
And we discussed too that the
think
Bible is not in a special order, right?
No,
It
the
kinda
Bible
bounces
isn't
all over the place.
necessarily in just a chronological order.
Okay.
And a lot of things from the New Testament also you can parallel it back to things in the Old Testament.
Right.
Because
right.
the Old Testament foretold things that were going to happen in the New Testament,
And-
like
and
Jesus
they did
coming
happen.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it happened.
Hundreds of years later, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
cool.
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
It's good reading the Bible and you have somebody who knows what it's really all about, or
yeah, I wish we had that.
what you're reading. we had a good pastor in New York who
We did have a good pastor in New York.
was,
Maybe he'll come on our show sometime.
Yeah, that'd be
and,
cool.
And tell us what things really mean.
that'd be great.
Tell us what we're
I
wrong
wonder
about.
if we
He
can
doesn't
get
have
him.
he doesn't have to tell us what we're wrong about, but he can tell us the real truth.
Uh-huh.
And then we can say, this is really a scholar. This is really a Bible scholar. But we'd love to have you on here.
Yeah.
Then you can teach. Then you can really teach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we won't even take much time. I mean, you could just tell it like
Just
it is.
20 minutes we usually do, right? 20
Well,
minutes
he
a
doesn't
day,
even
or-
have to be on for the whole thing if he doesn't want to.
Nah,
He can just tell us a Bible verse and tell us what
yeah.
it means, because he actually knows.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we just try
read
our
it
best.
and I tell it like it is.
Yeah, you sure do. You tell the Beatles or the Hollywood version, and then I go, no, that's not it.
That's not right. All right, so keep an eye out for our other video podcast.
We have more?
And we have quite a few now.
We do?
We're doing very good.
How
Thank
many
you,
do we-
people, for watching.
How many do we have now?
Oh.
Oh, I think we have over 20 now. I think the last one was, one of them was 20.
Okay.
Because I wrote them down because I wanted to write down where we're getting our scripture from, because I don't want to repeat. Well, it'd be okay if we repeated, but,
Yeah, well,
we don't have to repeat yet.
repeats. Yeah, there's still a lot more to go.
There is a lot. We
we
haven't
got a lot to
covered
cover,
much
and,
of the Bible yet.
And we're doing it as the best as we could.
The best as we could. The best as we could. The best that we can.
Thank you. And thank you for listening.
Y'all.
And we'll check it out.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
Love you.
I love you too.
He gets lipstick on him every time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.